What is going on, everyone? Just the Buzz here. If you're new to the channel, I make Charlotte Hornets content, so if that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. If you cannot tell by the thumbnail title of this video, in today's video, we're going to be talking about, I just realized my camera was a little off, but in today's video, we're going to be talking about Michael Jordan possibly selling the team. So the people who he's talking to, I don't remember the guy who's the minority owner of the Hawks, but the main person is the guy who's the minority owner of the Charlotte Hornets, actually, Gabe Plotkin. What's interesting about him is that he was part of a hedge fund, and we're just going to get into it. There's no need for all this other stuff, but he's part of a hedge fund that was part of the whole GameStop fiasco. I don't know if you remember, like a couple years ago, the whole GameStop thing with the stock market. And essentially, his hedge fund got in a lot of trouble. Does that concern me? A little bit. I mean, I guess if anything, he was just trying to make a play on an opportunity that arose that he thought he could, make some money off of. And that's what all these business people do. It just so happened that was definitely the wrong one to do it. I'm not too concerned about that. But I know the main topic, the main reason I'm making this video is that a lot of people are concerned that the Charlotte Hornets will move the team. So first of all, I would just like to say, I'm excited. Michael Jordan selling the team. He's looked like he's been out of it. He hasn't been on the sideline as much as he usually is. I personally think that him being on the sideline recently, I don't know if you remember like that whole Mark Williams video dap thing. I think that it was like him just trying to see if he still loves it. And if he's in talks with trying to sell on the team, I think that proved to him that he just wasn't in it anymore. And I'm pretty sure there was some other stuff behind the scenes we don't know about that. Also, it made him realize he just don't want to do this anymore. But the key thing is, like I said, it's just, I don't think he wants to do it anymore. There's nothing wrong with that. We've heard Bill Simmons talk about this. I think during the summer last year, he was talking about after the sale of the Phoenix Suns, Michael Jordan could be next. And everybody was like, what? And it kind of just got brushed over. But Bill Simmons said it. Michael Jordan was thinking about selling the team. And I don't know what that would mean for on the court. I personally feel like, and I did a whole podcast episode on this for the Believe Network. So if you don't know, I recently was brought on to the Believe Network to do Believe in Hornets. That's their podcast about the Hornets. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave the description down. I'll leave the link to that in the description down below. But essentially what I said in that is that what I'm hoping Gabe Plotkin does, Mr. Plotkin, I hope what he does is just kind of be hands off. I hope he understands the value of what it is of having a good team. You have a good team, people are going to support. You add LaMelo, who people are going to support anyway, and then you add just a serviceable team, a team that can make the playoffs back-to-back years. I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to pack out that stadium. You know what I mean? So that's something that I hope that Gabe Plotkin and company do. Hope they understand the value of what it is to just bring a good team to North Carolina. I think that you just surround the players. I feel like with other talented players, I think it's going to work. I think Mitch Kupchak and Michael Jordan are two individuals who are too involved in basketball to kind of see the forest for the tree, if that makes any sense. Or is it tree for the forest? But basically to see the actual detail instead of looking at the big picture. I could have easily said that wrong. Let me know if I said it wrong down in the comment section. But they're too busy thinking about, oh, well, there's no way this shouldn't work because he does this and he does this and he should do this. But they're not. I don't feel like they really understand that sometimes you got to take a player at face value and you can't say, oh, well, if we brought him here, we could get him to do. No, you got to take a player at face value. I think once they get their guys, they're really just gung ho on it. Like the whole, was it Gordon Hayward thing where we originally didn't sign Gordon Hayward. I think we signed him and then Utah matched it. And then well after Gordon Hayward is done, basically, as far as just being healthy and being a very impactful player throughout an entire season, then we signed him to $30 million a year for 3 to 4 years. Doesn't make that much sense. But that was just their guy. They stuck to it, obviously, for his whole time in Boston. I feel like if you get a guy who's not that involved in basketball, but is more of a business person, I think he understands the value of what it's like where you need someone who is smarter than you in the room. So therefore, he's going to hire someone that's not like Mitch Kupchak, but someone even more basketball inclined, younger hopefully. And he's going to let that guy do his job. All he's going to do is just make sure, hey, is this good for the business? This, that, and the other. But hopefully, he's just very passive and lets whoever his front office is, not just the GMs, but a lot of people. Because Buzz Peterson is another person who I feel like is he's helping Michael Jordan, but he doesn't help Michael Jordan because I feel like he just says yes to a lot of stuff. Don't know the guy personally. That's just based on what I know and what I've seen throughout the years being a fan of this team. I just feel like you set up a staff, you set up a front office with guys who just know basketball, who breathe basketball, who are younger, but watch all of the games and don't just have their guys. They're open-minded. They're willing to try new things, willing to try new offenses, willing to try just different things on defense. I think you can have a really good team as long as you're the owner. You stay off that. You let them do their job and you just help them do their job. You don't hinder them by saying this is the budget. Now, I get it. Obviously, you don't want to go under or nothing like that, but you don't be too strict to the budget. Like we've seen Michael Jordan, he doesn't want to pay for anything. It would have been, I think, at team full strength, Miles and all, we would have been missing somebody important because Michael Jordan wouldn't want to pay that much for a bunch of good players. So, like, for example, if we had Miles Bridges, who, let's say Miles Bridges ended up being really good, paid him. LaMelo Ball ended up being really good, pay him. And then let's just throw Mark Williams in and Kai Jones. Michael Jordan would have not wanted to pay everybody. Somebody would have had to go. So, like, in that case, like, PJ would have had to go. Like I said, in this scenario, Kai Jones would end up being really good. He would have had, there would have just been some cuts made. You can't do that when you have something special. And I think that's something that OKC learned from their own mistake by getting rid of James Harden. And I think they're trying to make up for it now. That's why they're trying to get as many players as they can. And once everyone's good, I think they're going to pay. And they're going to go over the luxury tax because they realize what they got. That is a key. That's just the way basketball works now. If you can do well under the cap, fine, great. Doesn't work. It's not as easy in basketball. I feel like it's easier in baseball and football than it is in basketball. For example, you have teams like, to get on my baseball rant here, you have teams like the Rays. They do well every year, and they're usually well under the salary cap, but they just know how to do that money ball thing. Football, you can do it to an extent. We see it all the time. You get a rookie quarterback, surround them with as many pieces as you can before you have to pay your quarterback and see how far you can go and then make your adjustments there. I think you can't really quite do that with basketball. It's a little different. So all in all, I just say if Gabe Plotkin, I'm not too concerned about what he's going to do as far as like the whole business thing. I think that was just a mistake, costly mistake for sure with his hedge fund, but I think it was just a mistake. But if he just hires the best basketball minds he can find and not try to get too connected to people and like, oh, I'm trying to hire my pal, hire my buddy, I think that he will do just great. As far as moving a team, and I know it's taken a while to get there, but as far as moving a team, they just signed a deal with Spectrum Center. I don't see a reason why you would put all that money forward to buy the team. If Gabe Plotkin does buy the team, I don't see the point of putting all that money forward, buy the team, and then break the lease to leave Spectrum Center and then try to build a team on top of that. It just doesn't make any sense. Way too much money. And I don't care if you're a basketball person, baseball person. I don't care what type of owner you are. It's way too expensive for no reason. You're not doing yourself a favor. Now, if they still continue to suck or people don't continue to fill the stands or whatever, in 25 years or whatever the deal is done, then fine. I get why they might move the team. But if you provide a good team, people will support. That's all I'm saying. So you make sure you do that. I promise you will have the support you need to support this team staying in Charlotte and not moving again. Also, I just don't think the NBA is going to let them move. I feel like the NBA would rather bring in a new team in Seattle and a new team in Vegas than to move Charlotte to Vegas or move Charlotte to Seattle, especially Seattle, because Seattle, they want the Supersonics. They don't want anybody else. They may take the Sonics, but they want the Supersonics. You can't put another team in Seattle and not have them be the Supersonics. And there will be no reason to move the Hornets all the way to Seattle and then change it. Just wouldn't make any sense. So also you got to keep in mind, as soon as the Charlotte Hornets left, Michael Jordan was like, hey, I could put up money, and David Stern was like, sure, put him in. But he understands the value of having a team in Charlotte, plus geography, if you want to throw basketball out of it. Charlotte's just becoming a mecca. It's becoming, some people call it a second Atlanta. People do that in Georgia all the time. Being from North Carolina, I don't like that. But Atlanta is a big city for businesses and tech and things like that. And Charlotte is becoming more and more of that. So, of course, you want those people's money by them coming to your games after work because they're already downtown in their offices. So, it's just, I don't see the team moving. It just doesn't make any sense. But let me know what you think down in the comment section below. I would love to have that conversation as far as who do you think where do you think the team will be sold in the first place? Because right now we're just hearing discussions of the team being sold, but we don't know for sure. And I'm just curious myself because it's hard to go into the real deep basketball things. I have no idea how this guy operates. I have no idea how his partner, the guy who's the minority owner of the Hornets, I don't know how he operates as far as just basketball. So hopefully these guys are just business guys, and they're really good business guys. Because like I said, really good business people, and you can look this up on YouTube. You can read it in books, because I've been reading a lot of books about stuff like that as I'm trying to make my own journey to kind of do my own thing. You are at your best as a manager, as an owner, or whatever you want to call it, when you're able to understand that you're not the smartest person in the room, or you're not the greatest at something in the room, and you bring in people who are better than you at that thing into the room and listen to them, learn off them, and have them do their job. You handle the managerial stuff, but overall you let them do their job, and you go from there. So let me know what you think about that down in the comment section below. There's no really point of talking about the team. They stink. Mark Williams is out. Kai Jones is getting a lot more play. I'm glad to see that. But, I mean, really what we're about to ramp up on is a lot of draft stuff, a lot of off-season stuff. The season's over unless a crazy game happens, or we see some like Kai Jones just performing better, Bryce McGowan perform. If we see stuff like that, we'll talk about that. But we're really about to go into off-season mode, especially here on the channel, because I don't see the point of just me covering every game. I know y'all don't care. I feel like that's also where my views have been going out. So watch my videos, man. But I feel like that's where my views have been going out as well. One, I haven't been too consistent with uploading. Two, I feel like a lot of people are checked out on the team, and I don't blame you. Right now, I'm not watching the team much myself, because college basketball and the draft is coming up, and those are my favorite things. I mean, I love the Hornets, but they've been bad all my life, and that's the reason why I've been even got interested in college basketball. Well, not college basketball, but the whole draft process. I'm so used to looking up who the Charlotte Hornets was going to draft. So anyway, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.